Hi guys, and welcome to another cast from your favorite caster, Miggy Kai. Sorry I haven't been around for a little while. I've actually been quite sick and had issues with both my voice and I've had a number of other issues going on in the background. In any case, jumping into a random game from uh, g- team matchmaking, Team Triple B versus Team Walt. I know one of these guys. He asked me to cast one of his matches, so I have decided to come along and cast one of these matches. Let's see how this goes. I am flying solo, and again, been a while. I've been away for a while, so let's see how well I can jump back into it. The Radiant team there are Walt +4, banning out their typical Batrider hero we see quite regularly banned out, particularly in the Oceanic scene as the first pick ban. Don't see a lot of Batrider play. People are, and my co-caster who isn't currently with me would say, he doesn't really warrant those bans when you ban Batrider quite regularly, or you don't build up a good play strategy against the Batrider. And there's many other heroes in the pool that you'd probably look to ban out instead of a Batrider. Batrider can be shut down and does have counters. BBB looking to ban out OD. Don't want to see OD in that mid lane position. Both teams actually going for an anti mid lane meta at this stage. Of course, OD is very strong in the mid lane position. Has great potential through that Arcane Imprisonment, which is so versatile at shutting down particular types of heroes, especially those that have non-passive abilities. But at the same sort of token, he can be countered, and we did see a number of matches being played recently, where in last couple of weeks, where Kunkka seemed to be a very good passive pickup against OD mid. Moving along now, we see that BBB have also banned out Naga-Siren. Naga-Siren having a bit of a comeback since TI3 as a support role. In fact, just before TI3, we saw a lot of Naga play as that support pseudo/carry for the tri-lane. So again, BBB not wanting to face up that Naga against the Naga-Siren, and Walt also banning up that great ban there. I like that ban. The ban in the form of Visage. I think Visage is one of the most underrated heroes. We see a lot of play with Visage in the tri-lane, and he really fits really well into any tri-lane scenario as kind of like a nuker. He's a disable, and at a later level in the game, if you can micro those familiars very well, you can shut down and become almost team fight worthy.
Sniper.
Wow, and we see the unusual pickup here from the Radiant team, Walt +4, in the form of the Sniper. Sniper not being something you see a lot of play of. Although, there have been a number of matches where he's been played in the tri lane, and if he's babysat well enough, he can actually become quite scary. He has this potential to work in the tri lane as the primary game because he can just outrange your opponents. He can harass from quite a safe distance. He can easily pick off those last hits, and he has one of the best animations in the game for last hitting. So he, while he's not a good, I don't know what you want to say, he's not a primary pickup for any kind of real team. You do see him being played occasionally in lower brackets in a trailing position. I don't think that he really warrants as a first slot pickup, but obviously Watt +4, they have their own ideas on how they want to play, and of course they're going into this with their own strategy. Meanwhile, BBB picking up a very typical Alchemist first slot, looking to probably complement that with a support role. We see a lot of Alchemist play, particularly in combination with Shadow Demon, or even sometimes Lina, Bane. He works very well in the tri lane. Everybody knows his potential as a carrier, and instead, no, BBB going for that off-lane Nature's Prophet straight off the bat. In fact, this is a very standard, very typical draft just so far coming out of BBB. Nothing untoward here just yet, though it is early on the draft. Meanwhile, Watt4 throwing these wild cards out there, and there's a bit of a playoff when you play these wild card drafts. A typical standard draft works. It's proven. Alchemist is proven. Nature's Prophet is proven. These heroes have a history. They can be played effectively, and everybody knows what they do, and they're good at what they do. And so, a bit of true
Dire team
improved
ban.
strategy is kind of sometimes what you want to come into it. But at the same time, these wild cards, sometimes teams don't know how to react to these wild cards and don't know how to effectively counterpick or react well to unusual combinations of heroes. And sometimes it can throw them off, particularly in pool plays of tournaments. We
Dire
see this quite
team
often.
pick.
We have a very standard three pull for the first three drops, and then all of a sudden it all changes with different cores being picked in the later part of the draft, where the supports with the promo pickups, and this causes some problems for some teams. In any case, we're moving on very quickly. Lifestealer and Troll Warlord being banned out there by BBB. Lifestealer, of course, is a great ban there. Troll Warlord, I like this because I do think Troll Lord is
10
worthy of a
seconds
ban.
remaining.
We've seen a number of games where he's been picked up with a ban
5
on
seconds
as
remaining.
this kind of support troll. And people sort of, he doesn't have to be actually
Reserve
anywhere near the
time.
combat. It's got a very short cooldown. It can come out very quick.
Radiant team
Meanwhile,
pick.
Altfor looking to ban out that Timbersaw. Man, Timbersaw being so strong now in the mid lane. It's a bit of a setup there too because Batrider's out of the pool and OD's out of the pool. It leaves only Queen of Pain to go up against, and Queen of Pain and Puck for that mid contention at this stage. And that Timbersaw I think is actually a very smart ban out because we did see in the last Cyber Gamer Amateur Tournament Cup, 24 teams. I think about over half of the games all had Timbersaw
10
mid.
seconds remaining.
And again, another solid ban out of Walt plus 4. They've banned
5
out. In fact, their
seconds
whole line of
remaining.
banning has been very solid, which is kind of contradictory to the way
Reserve
they've actually
time.
drafted. They've drafted very oddly with the Sniper and Spirit Breaker first up, not giving away any trump cards, but also putting out there that they have this unusual strategy. Meanwhile, BBB have picked up that Rubik. I like Rubik in drafts. Rubik does tend to restrict your opponents in terms of what they turn to pick up. At the same time, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes teams just make a call that they're going to play with a team fight hero, or they're going to play with a hero where their ult kick gets stolen, and they're not going to worry about that Rubik. And sometimes it works out for them, but more often than not, an early Rubik in the draft generally indicates the ability to steal team abilities. And while there are some abilities currently on the table that he could steal, there's nothing overly team fighty just yet. And I think this is translating into Wolf plus 4's team strategy. They were looking for a global presence team perhaps, and now they're reconsidering their options now that Rubik is obviously in the mix. And wow, they go for another unusual.
Dire team
Oh,
pick.
Clink's unusual. No, Clink's is seen. He's great in either that tri-lane mid or solo lane position, probably more so in the solo lane position. That early evasion ability and also those flame arrows, he can be very devastating. As a sort of a gank squad scenario, and here we've got a Spirit Breaker in the mix. So Spirit Breaker coming out of nowhere, then Clink's opening up on you. This has a lot of
10
gank
seconds
potential right there.
remaining.
But they have to be very super efficient in their
5
ganks because
seconds
they're going up against a
remaining.
very standard draft of Alchemist, Nature's Prophet. Those are very keystone
Reserve
core heroes.
time.
They do what they do very well. And if you don't get control of those scenarios, those heroes, you'll lose control of the scenario and perhaps just get rolled over very quickly. So Wildfort taking a bit of a gamble here, going to go for that their global gank team, and we'll see how well they actually unfold. And for those of the guys who are currently watching online, welcome. I'm back. Oh, sorry guys, I'll reconnect that. Apologies. I guess the welcome to those guys who are currently on the on Twitch chat. I have been away for a while. I wasn't planning to come back until Friday, but
Reserve
I'm
dire
back.
team pick.
Back with a little bit of vengeance, I should say. I had been away sick, plus I had family engagements that took me away from casting, but I'm back again. And hey, welcome to you guys on the Twitch stream. Back into the draft, as you can see there, Weaver being picked up. Weaver seeing a lot of play again. This draft sort of just screams high-level draft. It is very standard. It is very predictable, but it is very strong in the sense that all of these heroes do what they do well. We do have a bit of crossover here between Nature's Prophet and Weaver. Which way, is Nature's going to be jungling? Is he going to be sort of in the solo lane and Weaver in the tri lane? Probably not, given you've got Alchemist, so they're quite
10 seconds
got a very heavy
remaining.
mix up here. Or is Weaver going to be mid lane, or Nature Prophet going to be mid lane? So they've got options, but really they're looking for the
Dire
BBB, looking
team
for that
ban.
support fought for that last position. And wow, Walt 4 really playing odd heroes here, looking to play Meepo. And this is going to have a bit of a WTF factor for a lot of people watching this. This is not usual at all to see Meepo played. In fact, I've had very few Meepo games at all in the time that I've been casting.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Apologies, getting asked questions.
Reserve time. Radiant team ban.
And I'm back. Apologies. In any case, we don't often see Meepo play at all. So we're excited to see how this goes. But of course, Meepo can get out of control. He can snowball if he's left to farm.
10
And
seconds remaining.
many a team have suffered
5
greatly at
seconds
the hands of an
remaining.
excellent Meepo player. Is this the kind of skill we're going to see out of Walt
Dire
plus
team
4
pick.
or Alt F4 maybe perhaps is maybe what they should be doing with their draft. A bit harsh there for me, but this draft does not reek of competitive high end play. But at the same time, it is these wildcards, and will BBB be able to stand up to this wildcard scenario? Will they come through with the traditional draft and that solid play? Looking at the last bans now, both teams banding out mid heroes. Temple Assassin and Quintapain both being banned out, leaving the way for
10
Weaver to take up the mid lane if
remaining.
BBB should so choose. So, but they really need another support here,
5
perhaps to
seconds remaining.
to add to the scenario, something very, very good. Or they could pick up a mid. Instead, they pick up a Pudge, and Pudge is probably going to be carried there by one of the guy with the Pudge hook. A bit of a giveaway, perhaps. But Pudge mid lane, Weaver in the long lane. That's just perfect jungle with Rubik and Alchemist there and close by, so it's almost a pseudo tri lane. Meanwhile, Sniper with perhaps Meepo in the bottom lane, Spirit Breaker, Clink's top, or perhaps Clink's middle. We'll see with this last pick, but they're going for probably a more of a pub 2-1-2 pickup, whereas Bath and Beyond are going for a more statistically better draft where they will have tri-lane or they will have jungle control, whereas I don't think Walt F4 with their current lineup are going to be able to hold up to any of the lanes. It's really going to come down to hooks and well-timed ganks from the Spirit Breaker and Clinks. Meepo getting free farm. It's going to be an uphill battle. In fact, on paper, this Walt F4 are going to have a difficult time. But like I said, don't underestimate the power of Sniper. Sniper, I think, it does have some potential. It looks like he may even be going mid, but I do think he has a lot of potential in that tri lane. He can outrange and out harass. They go for another untraditional pickup. In fact, their entire lineup untraditional. They've gone for a Centaur War Runner. So we're going to see some big plays here, or we're going to see a bit of a steamroll. Let's go to the game. Match number 1. Out of 1, because this is matchmaking, not a normal scrim. And let's see how these guys go head to head. Which team comes out bad? Is it going to be the untraditional draft, or is it going to be the let me turn this off. Is it going to be the untraditional draft, or is it going to be the traditional draft? Let's have a look at the early startup items, if there are any at all. We're going into an immediate pause. For what reasons, I do not know just yet. But let's have a look who's picked up what heroes in the list. And we've got, oh no, we don't have the punch hook guy sitting on Pudge. In fact, we've got Marina two-hander, or 2H. Marana 2H sitting on Pudge. We've got Snapshot on the Rubik with I can't see Lexa. I can't see that. Lexa 2H. I can't see that. Sorry, I apologize. Or maybe I look at use my brain a little bit and use this channel here. Yeah, Lexa on the Nature's Prophet, leaving Triple B and Gara on the other two carries. Frenzy on the Sniper, Waltini on the War Runner, Mr. Tintok sitting on the Spirit Breaker, and how do you say this? Yo one Lord? Yeah, it's here 1L. I have no idea. In any case, my vote at this stage is going to definitely be with the traditional team in terms of drafts. I don't like this unconventional draft, but I do think it has potential. I don't want to underrate them. Meepo is so underrated. in a lot of games, if he's played exceptionally well and if he's played unharassed, if he's left alone, which a lot of teams will do up against the Meepo because they won't have any fear of him, he can escape very quickly in levels. And it's not so much the farm that's going to become an issue, but those very quick mid-level Meepo levels that could really turn the tide of the game if it was close. And but at the same time, it means it's going to be one down for a lot of the early laning phase. Meepo brings really only this net to the early laning phase. And so this team's going to have a struggle. They need to really survive this early laning phase where they do not have any advantages, perhaps maybe a little bit in the form of Spirit Breaker in terms of charge and escape, but I don't hold up well for that. Meanwhile, this Triple B team, they have a lot of advantages that peak well through all of the levels, both early phase with the Alchemist stun, should he go for the stun, Weaver Zakuzi, and Nature's Prophet teleport or potential ring, and of course Rubik telekinesis. All of those are going to be very good in the early laning phase, so they're going to have a great time, and all of those heroes do sort of scale well into all of the phases. Probably Nature's Prophet more so in the late game, but he's going to have that pushing power, whereas I'm not really sure about this Radiant team. They have some pushing power, they have some potential there, but it's nowhere near the same as what's coming out of the other team. Any case, let's look at the early game pickup items now. This normally indicates to me what level of skill level these teams are currently bracketed at. You can see here there's a nice early smoke pickup from the Spirit Breaker, and we do have Sentry Wards on the Radiant team. So both of those pickups tell me that there's going to be early rotation, and they're going for counter warding or at least effective warding against the invisible hero here being played by Classic. Meanwhile, on the Classic's team, they've also gone for Ghost for Smoke, but they haven't gone for Sentry Wards. Sentry Wards not essential, I guess, in their mindset, but I feel that Sentry Wards are very effective at blocking at camps and also de-warding, particularly de-warding. And you can see here immediately that Sentry Ward going down. Good de-warding here from the Radiant team. Oh, I was going to say they made a mistake, but good de-warding here. Waste of 135 gold there for 175 gold there for the Radiant team. In fact, they're losing all their vision, so they got no wards for 6 minutes. They've gone for a bit of a not a risky strategy, but they've gone for the blockouts. Hasn't worked out. They lost that vision for 6 minutes, and that's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass here for Triple B. Meanwhile, we've got Meepo in the mid lane. The highly unusual pickup of Meepo now being played in the mid lane position. I guess early level is going to pay off well, and I guess he is also semi anti-pudge once he gets those levels up. But it's going to come down to reaction and whether or not he can do that fast enough. And survivability and items. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, it is a tri-lane consisting of the Sniper with War Runner and Spirit Breaker going up against the Weaver solo. And in the top lane, it is an Alchemist and Rubik. Good combo there going up against a solo Clinks. They could probably kill that Clinks. Pick up and stun. Good setup there. And of course, Nature's Prophet going for the efficient pushing and build. This guy is the guy to watch for this particular matchup. He's going to get those levels very quickly. He's going to get those items up very quickly. And if he goes for early teleportation, I'm hoping he does it right now, early teleportation, we'll see some effective rotation and ganking going on. But let's have a look at the actual early game last hits so far. War Runner Radiant dominating the last hit categories in all their lanes. Except for the bottom lane. The bottom lane, no, yeah, they're winning all their lanes for last hits, and I guess they're just going to translate to early net worth. No, it doesn't translate so well into early net worth. Early net worth is a War Runner, apparently. Is the carry for the bottom lane? We can see Sniper kind of filling this support Sniper? I mean, support Spirit Breaker? This is very odd. This mostly carry team. In fact, they've gone for early smoke here. Are they looking for a kill here? I don't think they'll find one. Now they're now. Actually, I'm wrong. They're rotating to middle. They want to get Pudge. Meepo's in the mix. He's got nets, so this is going to be a bit of a difficult engagement. Here comes the charge. They're going in. He has the net now. Stunned down, but they're in the thing. Here comes the net. The net catches him. This will be first blood. Good play here. No! That is a reverse first blood. First blood actually going to Pudge. All those heroes coming middle. They didn't get first blood. First blood actually went down to BBB. But they did lose Pudge. But a great pickup there for Pudge. Given that he died, he got that experience. Got that gold. And I guess it's not a big disaster for them, and he's probably feeling good about that, given that there was so much hero rotation and to deal with him. That's definitely a win there for the Dire team. I thought they'd had that, but that right hook, the hook at the right moment, while they all Pudge out. Meanwhile, Pudge is taking a tremendous amount of damage, so is Meepo, and goes down again. Meepo being present for 2 kills. Being present for 1 kill. So it's 1 for 1, I guess, in the middle lane. But what's really freaking me out is this War Runner. Look at his net worth. He's not been anywhere near these engagements, and he's clearly leading the way against an Alchemist who's now being charged. And here we go. There's that great gang squad we talked about in the form of Clinks and Spirit Breaker. Now it's 4 for 1. Dire team feeling the pressure with their traditional draft, you know, and I you know, other than the Spirit Breaker Clinks combo, I did feel that the early game phase would probably go to BBB. They have this stronger traditional lineup, and we've talked about this quite recently in a lot of my casts. Those traditional lineups, they perform well when they're left alone, but they sometimes don't know how to react to these oddball drafts, and that's what we're seeing here. Seeing this very unusual oddball draft. Here comes in the Meepo. Here comes the net, but it misses, but doesn't matter. Spirit Breaker comes in with a charge, and it's just a lot of damage. They hate Pudge. And Nature's Prophet can just sit there. There's nothing he can do. Absolutely nothing. And another kill for Meepo. Meepo getting a little bit out of hand here now. He's at level 7. And you got to be careful with the Meepo. Meepo is the fastest XPM hero in the game if played effectively, and he is being played effectively. He's picking up kills where I wouldn't have expected him to be picking up kills. And Pudge is having a very difficult time. In fact, he's not going to be he's not going to come into his own use for at least another 2 levels. He needs that level 7 before he can go ganking. Whereas Meepo can now hit that mid lane and farm at the same time, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he's just going to get even further ahead in terms of XP. His farm's going to be pretty average, and he's not going to pick up any great items. He may pick up, so he's already got treads, but he may not pick up any really super effective items. But he doesn't need to. He's got that Meepo. He's microing that Meepo very well, but he has to be careful because there is a Pudge there looking to hook. And not a lot of action coming out of the Dire team just yet. In fact, I think they've recorded a little bit, feeling a little bit tender from the early engagements where they have not won out. You would have thought this Rubik Alchemist combo would be doing well. Alchemist has picked up a reasonable amount of last hits, but since his death in this top lane, he's really just not gotten a single last hit. I think he's only got 3 last hits. No stacking of this camp. Limited pulling occurring, and that's giving Clinks and Sniper this really great river of farm. In fact, Sniper and Clinks really hard for this Alchemist to get out anyway. And here comes the snipe again. Here comes the stun. Great ganking combination coming out. There's the pickup. Incoming the creeps who've been accidentally aggroed. They don't get the kill. But they do shut down the Alchemist's farm. Meanwhile, Pudge is slowly getting his levels up to 7. Going to get there very quickly, but is he going to catch up in time? Meepo now at 8, looking to go 9.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Weaver being the only person with any kind of skill in the bottom lane, but it looks like he's going to go down. And War Runner diving very deep, does go down 1 for 1, bit of a trade-off. But War Runner's happy with that. He's killed the Weaver. And War Runner's net worth now at 2,390 versus Weaver's very poor 1,400. Not going well at all for the Dire. The team that I thought had it on paper. But again, they could show the power of these untraditional drafts. How do you deal with them? And it comes into play experience, and it comes a little bit down to positioning. And you can see here that this charge coming out of Spirit Breaker just working very, very well, doing a lot of work, and he needs to in this early laning phase, because that's what it's about for this Radiant team. You know, they need that Spirit Breaker and Clinks to be doing all the work in the early laning phase, so they can give this Meepo some breathing room, along with, I guess, this War Runner. They need that breathing room, otherwise they will be shut down in the mid to late game phase where this Dire team will start to come to alone. But you can see there's an immediate charge down. Here comes the flare. They're going to find him. They're stunned. They can't find him. Oh, he's looking for a place to escape. Weaver's in a difficult position. He's looking to run out. His Jacuzzi's out. Jacuzzi of his life. Manages to dodge that. Has to pop a healing potion. Is being pursued slightly. They don't know where he's gone. But they've done their damage, I guess. Now looking to push this lane. Not going at all well for Classic there, sitting on the Weaver. Although he did avoid that, he is now being pushed out of lane, and he isn't getting that XP which he needs to be getting in order to sort of peak at the right level. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Alchemist is sitting very, very low, very dangerously low. They have a Clinks in the area who's going for the early flames and also the Skeleton Walk. Like what you would have expected to see out of this ganking combination, and this Alchemist needs to look out. He will get charged if they see him when it's up. You can see the Spirit Breaker. He's got charge. He's rotating back to pick up his dust. Pudge picks up a good Clinks. Nice extra, but he's going to pay for it with his life. Here comes the net. Here comes the Meepo. Oh no, and it looks like it is going to be a fail gank there by Meepo, but it doesn't matter. In comes the Sniper. Sniper's taking a lot of damage. He gets killed. Spirit Breaker's coming, but it's too slow. And they're looking to get, yeah. They do get the Pudge, they do get the Rubik. Meepo's looking for an out, and he manages to escape, and Meepo gets 2 kills. Meepo now, of course, the highest level hero in the game. Having a quick look at levels in here, as you can see, he's sitting at 12, which is considerably more than anyone else. Highest XP per minute hero in the game, doing the deeds, being left alone, going up against the Pudge in the mid lane, which does favour the Meepo slightly. I should say quite substantially. And leaving Nature's Prophet, I'm not saying it's a bad pick to put Nature's Prophet in the jungle, but it does give you the scenario where it's very difficult to survive. But Clinks, oh my god, Clinks gets out of that. Even avoids the tick from the acid spray. Here comes the charge from Spirit Breaker. He is now looking to back out. He will get stunned. Oh, he needs to be careful. Alchemist wants to convert this into a kill, but he won't find it. Now you're living for 4. Dire feeling the pressure now. Need to really start seeing a lot of action and good rotations from their heroes. In fact, they're so shut down, they're not rotating at all. We see Pudge at 9. He is rotated top looking for kills. Nature's Prophet is far behind on his farm. He does have a hand of Midas. He can turn this back. They're no by means out of this game just yet. They can easily turn this back. They have the hero combination. They have the skill, clearly by what we've seen in the matches already, in this game match already. But yet again, Meepo finds another kill in the form of this Pudge, who's not even going to try and deny himself. Pudge's going to be feeling very, very frustrated. Meepo on a bit of a killing spree there. And net worth wise though, it's Nature's Prophet. He's climbed that scale with that hand of Midas. You can see since he's got that hand of Midas, he's really started to come into his own, and he's been left alone, unharassed. He's going to do exactly what this Meepo is going to do. This Meepo needs to get max level in the next 10 minutes very quickly. Otherwise, they will be outplayed in the late game, because they don't have the late game heroes that BBB have. And you can see there, wow, very low heroes almost being killed out by Nature's Prophet's ult. Well, they just live to fight again. In any case, the heroes here we have for the Radiant team that could potentially be the late game heroes, they're all grouping up quite regularly. You can see Clanks, which Spirit Breaker, they're trying to get kill advantage. That's how they see it. Ult's going down. Ult's being used. No one being killed. No kill being... Meepo catching another kill. In fact, he's on a monster streak. And Axis in deep pit. But they're going to try and get this... Rubik. Rubik opting to TP out at the right opportunity. Nature's Prophet going down. Meepo's net worth is not particularly high. You can see there. It's only 1480. Meepo doesn't normally get particularly amounts of farm, even when played as well as this. But that can't be right. There must be a bug there with the net worth, because he's got a blink dagger. So this is a bit bugged in terms of net worth. Must clearly be bugged, because Meepo's doing really well. He's got more than 1700 here.
Middle tower is not what it used to be. That is for certain.
In any case, Warrunner also doing very well in net worth.
Dire structures are fortified.
In fact, he's really driving this Weaver out of lane. In fact, this is where I would expect to see Weaver to rotate. Perhaps go to top.
Godlike! Axes, please!
Meepo is now on a godlike streak. Not at all what the Dire are hoping for. Yeah, he's going to make that max level within 25 minutes. And that's how you, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you play Meepo. Max level within 20 to 25 minutes is how you play Meepo. And he is going to get that.
Dire's bottom tower is taking many wounds.
He's well on his way to it. You can see he's farming in the jungle. He's been left unharassed in the mid lane. They did try to rotate to kill him, but it was no, they didn't rotate to kill him at all. All going in the favor here of the Radiant team. This traditional draft for the Dire team not doing so well. Nature's Prophet now rotating into the top lane, looking to push out this lane. They need to find some advantage somewhere. They are 10 kills down. Let's have a look at the graphs. Graphs say it's a bit of a washout a bit. 15 minutes into the game, they're 5k down on gold and 7k down on gold and 7k down on experience. But it's no by means over. I do believe that BBB's lineup is slightly stronger, but we see wow, look at that damage, and we see the overkill just coming out of this team. Warrunner's ult being used is the great deep penetration there, a great deep initiation against the Dire team. Not going the way they were expecting. And there's a bit of a steamroll going on, and another kill, 3 kills for 2, 17 to 6. And they're now getting another tower. GG being called by the Dire team. They feel they've been outplayed. I don't think it's yet over, but the game detects the GG. Well done to Ult plus F plus F or F4. Was it a Ult plus 4? Definitely going in their way with that unusual, untraditional draft. Did not go the way of BBB with their nice lineup there in the form of a very standard draft. But them's the ways. That's how the cookie crumbles. And if you want to stick around in the Twitch channel, I only see there's only 2 people left now. If you want to stick around in the Twitch channel, we could do some post-game analysis if you like. Just post your thoughts on that particular game, and I will respond in time.